Bonjour classe, cette semaine nous continuons avec notre leçon sur la famille et nos aïeux. D'où sont venus mes aïeux? Cette semaine nous allons discuter des pronoms I et en. Remember that our objectives are to express where my family came from and where they settled, to talk about the various states of America, to use the pronouns I and en in sentences, and also to use double pronouns in a sentence. So even though I and en, these two words, are pronouns, they act as if they were adverbs. So I and en basically are used to replace the words in a phrase that denote quantities or qualities, properties, and relations, just like adverbs do. So you can think of I and en as little French shape-shifters. Most commonly, the pronoun I is going to replace an indirect object following the preposition à. And it roughly means there in English. In our example, je ne vais pas à l'école, à l'école. Here's my indirect object that's following the preposition à. And so now I can replace that with I. Je n'y vais pas. I don't go there. The pronoun en replaces indirect objects following the preposition de, and it roughly translates to some or any in English. Je prends des frites avec mon steak. Frites is our indirect object following the preposition de, and now I can replace it with en. J'en prends avec mon steak. I take some with my steak. So, talking about a pronoun first in English, let's make sure we understand what it is. In this example, see if you can find the pronoun. I come from Nebraska. My ancestors settled there in 1867. Coincidentally, 1867 is when Nebraska joined the United States of America, and they were officially recognized. So if you chose there, you are correct. There is our pronoun. It is referring to a previously mentioned noun, which is Nebraska. It is used as a substitute for that noun, and pronouns help us to avoid repetition. What about in French? Let's see if we can find it here. Je viens du Nebraska. Mes aïeux s'y sont installés en 1867. Okay? If you chose I, you are correct. So I is replacing Nebraska, which comes after du, okay? Notice that in French, right, I'm going to always put my pronoun either before the infinitive, if there is one, or I place it before the conjugated verb. In this instance, this is my conjugated verb, so it goes right in front of it, okay? Let's look at some more examples. Tu es déjà allé dans le Maine? Non, je n'y suis jamais allé. Here, my I goes in front of my verb, and this verb is conjugated in the passé composé. So not the aller, this is not the conjugated verb. This one is, it's my helping verb. This is my past participle. Okay? That is the passé composé. Elle va rendre visite à son grand-oncle en Californie? Oui, elle va y aller en juin. What is this? It's right in front of this, and this is the infinitive verb. It is not conjugated, okay? And that's why I'm not putting it here in front of my conjugated verb, because she's going to go there in June, okay? So it goes in front of basically the action verb that she's going to go. Last example. Vous allez souvent chez vos grands-parents? Non, nous n'y allons pas beaucoup. Here, it's right in front of my allons, which is just the present tense. Okay? So always in front of either the infinitive. If there is no infinitive, it's going to go in front of my conjugated verb. So, to kind of recap here, I, évite de répéter un nom de lieu, a name of a place. Je vais en France. J'y vais. I can also replace à and the name of something. So if you say, je pense à la mer, I'm thinking about the ocean. J'y pense. Okay? So different things with à. Verbs with à. Expressions with à. En remplace les partitifs. We're going to look at this one a little more closely now. Partitif, we'll get into that in a second. And en will also be used with des verbes or expressions that use de. Okay? Tu fais du sport? Oui, j'en fais. We're going to look at that a little more closely in a second. Okay? So, un partitif. Let's talk about that. What is a partitif? When I can't quantify exactly how much I want, but I want part of something, or I want some of it, I'm going to use a partitive article, un article partitif. So, for masculine nouns, I use du. For feminine nouns, I use de la. And for plural nouns, I use de. Okay, most often it is used with food or a vague quantity of something. It can also be used with abstract things like love, patience, things like that. And in English, it means some, okay, is what I'm going to use en for. So, a couple examples. Tu veux des chips? Oui, j'en veux. J'en veux, I want some, referring to des chips. Des chips is using des, which is a partitive. Tu as des cousins germains? Des cousins germains, right? Des is my partitive here. Do you have any, right? Cousins? Des cousins germains? Oui, j'en ai 3 du côté maternel. Le côté maternel, we saw, means on my mother's side. Tu fais du sport au printemps? Here a verb that uses de. Oui, j'en fais. Do you do sports? J'en fais. I do some sport, or I do a type of sport. Okay? Au printemps. There are some expressions that use de, which will always require en. Some that we have seen this year are avoir envie de, to feel like, avoir besoin de, to need, avoir marre de, to be fed up with something, se ficher de, right, to not care about something, and parler de, to talk about something. All of these require a de and use a de, which means they use an indirect object, and that will be replaced by en. So here are some of my most common expressions here. J'en ai marre, right? I'm fed up with it. Je m'en fiche, we've seen that one. I don't care about it. J'en ai besoin over here. I have a need of it, or I need it. Right underneath it, j'en ai envie. I feel like it. Oui. And right over here, je t'en ai déjà parlé. I already spoke to you about it. Okay? Je t'en parle. All right. Next thing we're going to be talking about today and you're going to be working with is, in your drag and drop, are different prepositions with our states. We're going to use either dans le, en, or à. So en, even though it is, right, that little pronoun, I'm also going to use it with places, right? Like we said, en Californie, en Pennsylvanie. Remember that we're going to use these different prepositions based on whether the state is masculine or feminine. Blue is masculine, orange is feminine. There are many more masculine than feminine. And keep in mind that our teeny tiny Hawaii, which is an island, is going to use a. Your questions for this week real quick are, it's a 2-part question in your discussion, and you also want to comment on other people's so that we can stay connected and find out about each other. First part of the question, as-tu voyagé dans d'autres états? Lesquels? Un état, state. Share up to, but no more than, 5 states you've traveled in. Lesquels just means which ones. Remember that this is using the passé composé. So an example of that would be, whoops, there should be an accent here. J'ai voyagé. Moi, j'ai voyagé dans le Tennessee. J'ai voyagé en Virginie occidentale. J'ai voyagé en Caroline du Nord. J'ai voyagé dans le Maine et j'ai aussi voyagé dans le Colorado. Oui? So, au moins 5 endroits. You don't need to put pictures, although you can if you'd like to, but you do need to spell it out. Write those out en français. The second part of your question is, quels états voudrais-tu visiter? Au moins 3. Pourquoi? what states would you? This is the conditional, which I will use in answering that. Je voudrais voyager. Ici, je voudrais voyager, moi, en Californie. Je voudrais voyager dans l'Oklahoma. Et je voudrais voyager dans le Nouveau-Mexique. Oui? And then I would explain pourquoi. Parce que, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Those are your questions du jour. Hopefully all of this information will help you to be super successful in completing all of your activities this week. As always, email me with any questions. Ciao!